Businesses and governments around the world were affected by what experts are calling the largest IT outage in history. A CrowdStrike computer update did all this damage. CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity firm which runs cybersecurity investigations for the U.S. government, and they have admitted to being responsible for the current worldwide computer outage which has taken down computers at airports, banks, hospitals, Starbucks, and other businesses globally. The outage also took down the London Stock Exchange, and there were reports of 911 going down across the nation. Today's disruption appears to be limited to customers who use CrowdStrike's security. Apparently, it was a software update from Microsoft Windows hosts that caused this. Doesn't it make you feel safe that this company protects our world's infrastructure? Well, guess what? CrowdStrike also provides cybersecurity services to various governments around the world, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and other allied nations. So does this mean that government computers protected by them are impacted? Are only certain systems, such as three-letter agencies, protected by them? These are just things I wonder. CrowdStrike was involved in investigating the hacking of Hillary Clinton's email server during the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign. They were hired by the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, to investigate the breach and determined that Russian hackers were responsible. CrowdStrike's report, released in June 2016, identified the threat actor groups known as Fancy Bear and Cozy Bear, also called APT-28 and APT-29, as being behind the intrusion. However, there are some pretty significant problems with this CrowdStrike report. First, there was no server or any other electronic device that could be forensically examined to figure out what went on. Do you remember when Hillary Clinton's team deleted emails from her private server and destroyed devices in 2015? Specifically, Clinton's team deleted approximately 33,000 emails. They also used bleach bit and hammers to physically destroy devices used to access the email server, including smartphones. When this was done, Hillary was under subpoena to produce the server and devices. The second problem was that the report noted that CrowdStrike's findings were based on their analysis of compromised systems and network traffic in general, rather than direct access to the hacked servers. So, are you getting this? CrowdStrike got paid by the DNC to make up a report on what happens on some compromised systems, but not particularly Hillary's hacked server that the Russians got into. Does this fit the definition of misinformation? The cherry on the top is that other people, while not sanctioned by Hillary, did analyses on metadata which showed no computer connection from Russia. Instead, it showed that somebody walked into Hillary's office and copied the emails onto an external memory device. I remember going over this data back in 2016 before Trump got in, and it was pretty clear there was no hack on her network and somebody in DC copied it from her drive. But we're not quite done. Now you might ask, if the DNC hired CrowdStrike to investigate a hacking into Hillary's computer, why would she destroy them? It just doesn't make sense, right? You may be surprised to know that the entire Russia investigation was to create doubt about the emails that were in her server. The DNC discovered that the emails had been copied in 2015, and as mentioned above, the metadata showed that the emails were not hacked, but copied in Washington. A 27-year-old DNC data analyst died on July 10, 2016. WikiLeaks began publishing the emails on July 22, 2016. So the timeline begins with discovery of the breach in 2015. Then the CrowdStrike investigation concluded that Russia did it. The DNC analyst dies, and then WikiLeaks releases Hillary's and John Podesta's emails. You see, whoever copied her hard drive turned the emails over to Julian Assange, who spent approximately 7 years in exile within the Embassy of Ecuador in London. He was then arrested and spent 62 months in a UK prison in London. The 52-year-old just recently flew to the U.S. territory of the Northern Mariana Islands to plead guilty to one charge after the U.S. dropped 17 other espionage charges against him. So Julian Assange lost 12 years of his life because he published hacked emails from Hillary Clinton's devices. And boy, you don't want to know what was on her devices and the computer of Anthony Weiner, the husband of Huma Abedin, Hillary's good friend and right hand. Weiner didn't need Assange's help exposing himself. A selfie of his wiener to a minor did it. The Russian investigation into the 2016 election and Hillary's email hack are not the only times that CrowdStrike has been in the news. President Trump was impeached over a phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky on July 25, 2019. Trump asked Zelensky to investigate the above-mentioned CrowdStrike report that Russia hacked Hillary's servers. He also asked Zelensky to investigate Joe Biden and the firing of a Ukrainian prosecutor who had been investigating Burisma, the company where Hunter Biden was a board member. 2 articles of impeachment were filed over this phone call. The House of Representatives impeached Trump on December 18, 2019, on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. I mean, really, have we gone insane? A sitting president requests an investigation into government and election computers being hacked, and he's impeached. I would think that it's a president's job to protect our country from anyone that would seek to infiltrate it. Nothing like this has ever happened in my lifetime. Now that you know about the company that created this interruption of service of so many important sectors of our infrastructure, what are your thoughts? Is this preparation from a broader shutdown of communications? Was this part of an endeavor to take control of various systems that are critical to the continuation of our society? Is this interruption of banking services related to a change in our monetary system? Did the interruption of airline services prevent the travel of people out of the country after the RNC? Is this a test and only a test? Or is this simply an accidental glitch in a Microsoft update? I hate updating because I've had problems before, but you would think that such important systems would be more stable. The possibilities are many, but one thing is sure. We are experiencing unusual events, and computer data shows itself to be more and more insecure. Tell me your thoughts. What the heck is going on? Until next time, stock up and be prepared to chill for a while if we lose communication.